Welcome back, you guys. Cannon with Burger Motorsports. Episode 3 of the M340 build, the road to 1200 wheel horsepower. Today we're going to be installing the big turbo kit, and Payam's going to be doing all the work. I'm just here to document it, make a few cool edits, show you guys what this is all about. As I'm sure you guys have picked up already, we are not at Burger Motorsports today. We're at ACF, one of our manufacturing facilities. So we're going to take you through a quick tour and show you guys some of the parts that we manufacture here in-house. We are all the way across these. Payam, where are we at?
We're in China.
China. We're in China, something like that.
On the 5-axis over here, machining some of our trans-cooler brackets. These are the two lathes we got. Rafa over here is one of the engineers at ACF. He does a lot of good work for us. We got the automated machines. They're always running 24/7. These are our tubes for the S58 front mount. Welded up and done. They're gonna go to powder coating this week, and they'll be back on the website in stock. This is the jig shelf. Some of the jigs are missing because they're using them right now, but here's one where you can see B58 Gen 2 bottom charge pipe, bottom trim. Here's the top one, and a bunch of our other stuff. As you can see, they're labeled Lexus, C43, Kia Stinger, Mazda, etc., and a lot more upstairs. This is where most of the R&D and measuring happens, and the 3D scanning. These are the tools and the CMM to make sure that everything is within spec that we need.
We've got the table full of goodies over here. Payam, you want to give us the rundown on what we're looking at? Whoa, wait. Is that what I think it is? Is that a freaking PS5, dude? Hell yeah, it's a PS5. If you want your chance to win Burger Motorsports PS5, head to the Instagram page Saturday, August 3rd for your chance to win. Releases at 10 a.m. Read the description down below on how to enter for free.
We have the KLM kit with a Precision NEXTGEN 7275 turbo. This turbo is rated for about 1400 horsepower. We're about to install these goodies, but before we do that, we have some custom things we're gonna put on this manifold. We have the KLM manifold, and the custom stuff that we're gonna be adding to it are EGT probes in each runner. That will tell us the temperature in each cylinder, and if we need to add fuel, if one cylinder gets hot, and that will make sure that our engine is happy.
While Payam's getting his stuff situated, seeing that turbo making 1200 wheel horsepower, what do you think this thing's gonna 60 to 130 after it's all buttoned up? Go ahead and drop a comment down below on what you think it's gonna do. Personally, I'm gonna say it does like a, let's say a 3.5. What do you think?
A 1200 wheel, low 3-second 60 to 130 car, and then probably 100 to 150 in the low threes as well.
Payam's car has the new Burger Motorsports titanium engine bolts dress-up kit. These look so good. Head to the link down below if you guys want to get these today. That being said, Payam's going to go ahead and start the install on the M340.
Getting these downpipe bracket bolts right now. This car has a little over 104,000 miles, so it's a little seized up, but we're making headway. Daniel came over. He's from Gintani. He's one of the fabricator and lead welders over there. Coming to check out what we're doing over here. Right now we're removing the water pump for the turbo. Since the Precision is an oil-cooled turbo only, there's no water running through it. KLM provides the block off, so once we remove this water pump, we will install the block off, and we don't have to worry about coolant anymore. Once you remove the clip, make sure you don't misplace it or lose it, because we need that. And just pull the pump out, put the plug in, and insert the clip back in, and that's it, done. Got the O-rings from BMW, lube it up. This is our coolant block off. Make sure you use brand new O-rings, reuse the bolts. We'll go and start the block off for the rear coolant port. We're installing the oil feed fitting onto the turbo. The bottom portion is 1/8 NPT. The top is an AN, -4 AN. The bottom NPT is the only side that needs Teflon tape. You do not put Teflon tape on AN sides as they seal on the 37-degree tapered end. Installing the oil feed fitting, a lot of people make this mistake by grabbing a wrench and just tightening this. You cannot do that. You need to get a second wrench to hold the bottom fitting so it doesn't move. Precision marks this to make sure it doesn't move, or else it will crush the bearing inside and you're going to eventually have a leaking turbo.
stay tuned now. Our goal today is to get this thing all buttoned up, finished up, and hopefully get you guys some sound clips after it's all finished. Payam is just unpackaging some more parts over here. Payam, go ahead and give us a rundown on what we all got done yesterday.
Yesterday we removed the stock turbo, most of the stock components that needed to get removed for this build. We prepped the block, got the fittings in. Basically the turbo kit is ready to go on now. As soon as we finish welding these EGT bungs, Anthony's going to be welding them and the runners like we spoke about yesterday. I need to change the JB4 system from the traditional B58 setups that we sell with the EWG. Since this is running external wastegates and a max solenoid, the JB4 system needs to be a different system to be able to control this, and we provide that in the drop-down Burger Tuning website for people that have these kind of setups. So while Chris is prepping the engine so the manifold can go on, we already got the EGTs welded up. I am getting the wastegates ready. We put a 1-bar spring in there. Usually for 3-port solenoids, you would probably put maybe 1.5 bar, because with 2 ports, you can only boost 2.5 times the ratio of the spring. Since we're using a 4-port, we can technically go 6 times, but there's a lot of discrepancy with that depending on back pressure, etc. So usual kits come with vacuum lines. Right now you can see I am putting our AN fittings because of so much boost, and eventually these get brittle with heat. I am making AN lines. These kits will be available for anybody that has a KLM kit, so they can just buy the kits, install them the way we do it. We'll have some instructions. This is basically set and forget. You just put it on, don't have to worry about it blowing off. As you guys saw, Chris pulled out the intake manifold. Great help for us today. I really needed his help to get this car going. So we're gonna be installing the fuel-lit pore injection spacer. We are using 550 cc's on this right now. The purpose of pore injection is for the additional fuel that we're gonna need with the KLM setup, and especially when we're gonna be running full E85. But upon inspection, taking off the intake manifold, one thing that I noticed on this 100,000 mile car, carbon buildup is pretty much non-existent. I've seen horrible cars that have much worse carbon buildup, and this basically looks like a brand new car. It's honestly unheard of for something that has over 100,000 miles. It looks more promising and makes us feel better when we're trying to push the limits of the stock engine until we get it built. I'm f***ing hungry, bro.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
Do you know the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man.
My race car for the daily, but then it became another race car, and then the daily became another race car. But that's just what we do.
It's 2 days later now. It's almost 1 in the morning. M340 is all finished up, buttoned up. Payam and Chris got it all finished. Huge shout out to Chris from CMBuildz for coming out here and helping Payam out, get this turbo kit installed and doing all the fabrication work on the M340. Payam's going to go ahead and give us the breakdown on everything that was installed on the Burger Motorsports M340 race car. Payam.
So over the weekend, we just installed the KLM top mount 7275 precision turbo. This is the NEXTGEN, their latest series build. Chris over here made us the custom charge pipe with these HydroFlow clamps. We added the fuel-lit port injection spacer as well, and we put the EGT sensors on.
Chris, go ahead and tell us what exactly you ended up kind of fabbing up for the M340.
Alright guys, so I had to do the charge pipe for this setup because when he got the kit originally, he opted for no charge pipe. So we got a full 3-inch charge pipe. Okay, so I went ahead and I did a full 3-inch charge pipe with HydroFlow clamps to allow movement, especially when this engine's making a lot of torque. See that? It'll allow movement.
We're about to do the first start. We're going to check for leaks. That's why it kind of looks all scrambled like this. We're going to button everything up after we check everything is good to go.
On this KLM kit, it didn't have AGT sensors. I went ahead and I welded each bung on there, and you can't really see them back there, but every single runner has an EGT port, and that's what these are for, so that we can monitor each cylinder temperature when we're tuning. What I had to do on the 7275 Next Gen is, since we went with the hydro flow clamps, I had to weld every single ferrule. So I had to modify the compressor housing, as you can see, so it allows to accept the hydro flow ferrule.
Earlier I mentioned I was making these AN lines for the wastegate. This is the final product. The mount wastegate will be making kits for 3 and 4 port. So this is made to set and forget. Put them on, don't ever have to worry about it. This thing can take 100 PSI if needed. Last thing you want is for the bottom wastegate line to melt, pop off when you're doing a pull, and then you're gonna have all the boost and there goes your motor. Built or not, all the boost is not good when you're not tuned for it. That is how I build all my cars. Kind of the same reason why I use the hydroflow clamps, because they're quick to assemble, disassemble, and they take a lot of boost, and it's just the best.
Alrighty, Payam, let's go and start this thing up and see what she sounds like.
Let's do it!
Here's the first startup on the Burger Motorsports 7275 Next Gen from Precision Turbo. Start the She's still so quiet because of the stock exhaust.
All right, second gear pull. Let's do this.
Sounds so freaking good.
Pretty damn good.
Stock exhaust still makes it sound a little bit like a 350Z, but it's not too bad.
Those wastegates when they open up.
Do windows up. See how she sounds with the windows up. See how many pounds we're running. Oh, we're on manual focus right now. They can't see that.
Yeah.
It's all right. I'll tell you guys how many pounds we're running. It says we're on map 2 right now.
Map 2 should be 17.
Okay. I'm watching it.
Jesus, take the wheel.
We're still on gate pressure. 14.7, 15 pounds-ish.
Next video, we'll be installing the Fuel-It Stage 3 system and putting it on the dyno to see how much power it makes.
Hit those jumping jacks.